Alright, you're welcome back once again. We will be running through one vital test this time around, known as HDL. The full meaning of HDL is high density lipoprotein cholesterol. It's a parameter in lipid profile and it's also known as the good cholesterol. As time goes on, I'm going to make a video on how to run this lipid profile panel generally. But this time around, we are going to run only the HDL, which is high density lipoprotein cholesterol. Now, as you can see, this is our reagents. This is the reagents, HDL. This is our sample. You can see our serum sample. These are our macropipettes. This is the machine we will be using. Semi-auto chemistry analyzer. These are the pipette tips we will be using. As we all know, this process, HDL process, is a tedious process. We are going to do what we call precipitation of this HDL, where we are going to take an equal volume of the sample and HDL reagents. We incubate, mix rigorously and incubate for 10 minutes at room temperature. After that, we are going to use this centrifuge to centrifuge at RPM of 4000 for 15 minutes. The essence of this centrifugation and this process, we are trying to precipitate this HDL. Now, this HDL reagent contains some components that will help in this precipitation. It will help to precipitate our VDL, like very low density lipoprotein cholesterol. It will help to precipitate our chylomicron, leaving only the HDL to be measured. That is to say, the HDL will now remain as a suspension, will now remain as soluble in the mixture. We'll be using the supernatant to run our test because the sediment contains this VDL, contains this chylomicron. So we don't need the chylomicron and we don't need the VDL. It's only the HDL that we need. So in that case, after the centrifugation, we are going to run this sample and I'm going to put you guys through on how to run this sample using the semi-auto chemistry analyzer. So let's get started.
Trying to precipitate other cholesterol, leaving the HDL by taking equal volume of reagent, which is 200 microliter of our HDL reagents, into our clean test tube. Okay, to our clean test tube. We also take 200 microliter of our serum. Add to the HDL reagent. Okay, add to the HDL reagent. You mix vigorously. Okay, you mix vigorously. You mix vigorously and incubate at room temperature for 10 minutes. Okay, you incubate at room temperature for 10 good minutes. After incubating at room temperature for 10 minutes, then you spin at a revolution per minute of 40,000 RPM for 15 minutes. For 15 minutes. Why did we incubate at 10 minutes? Why do we incubate? The reason why we incubate, this gives enough time for the reagent to fully react. It also gives enough time for low density lipoprotein cholesterol and very low density lipoprotein cholesterol and chylomicron to form visible precipitation. Okay, if you centrifuge too early, precipitation may become incomplete and falsely high LDL results. Okay, so now why do we centrifuge at 4,000 rpm for 15 minutes? Centrifugation does the physical separation. After centrifugation, the precipitated low density lipoprotein cholesterol and very low density lipoprotein cholesterol and chylomicron will be formed, okay, at the bottom of the tubes, leaving only the HDL as supernatant to be examined. After that, you take 500 microliter of your cholesterol reagents to 3 tubes, one for blank, another one for standard, the third tube is for our test. Okay, then you add 10 microliter of your HDL standard to the second tubes, and you add 10 microliter of your supernatant, that is the sample you spun containing the HDL. You take 10 microliter and add to the test tube. You incubate at 37 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes before running the test. You can see the interface of our semi-auto chemistry analyzer. First of all, before you run this test, you have to wash the machine. You wash it in case if, like the previous test you might have run, maybe it contains a color solution. Okay, this color solution can block certain our aspirating tubes inside. You don't know, so you need to wash vigorously. Okay, you need to wash the machine to wash those things out before you run a new test. Now we are timing at 37 degrees centigrade. You can see after you wash, you zero the machine. After you zero the machine will ask you to aspirate reagent blank. Now we are testing what? We are testing blank. As you can see, we are testing blank. Now blank has finished testing. Now you click on standard to generate a new factor. We want to generate a new factor. You can see we are generating a new factor. Now you will discover that the value at that factor will change. Okay, you are generating a new factor. Just watch closely and you will see that value there will automatically change. The previous factor was 522. Watch and you will see the new factor. You see 460. That is the new factor that we just generated. Now we are now running our standard as our test. We are running our standard as our test. Watch closely and you will see. Look at the value of our standard now, 25.26 milligram per DL. Now, if you cross-check this standard with the standard provided by the manufacturer, look at it. It's 25 milligram per DL. That is to say, we are doing well. Our aspiration, our pipetting is okay. So now you can run your test. Okay, now you can run your test. You can see this is our test. Our test is 23.17 milligram per DL. That is to say the value of HDL in that sample is 23 milligram per DL. So after that, you have to return the machine. The machine will ask you, do you want to wash? You say yes. You aspirate the washing solution. You discover that the machine will please aspirate a cleaning solution. Then you click aspirate. The machine will start aspirating. By this aspiration, the machine is also washing. Okay, like the last this thing that we wash. Okay, the last test we ran now is the HDL. So it's trying to wash the HDL out of it. Look at that bottle at the back of the machine. That is where what we are washing is going. Okay, that is where those this thing is going. You can see we are washing the machine. Now we want to turn off the machine. You have to click on the power button software, then you watch the machine before turning off the machine completely. Please guys, if you are watching this video for the first time, like, share, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel and all my social media handle. Thank you guys for watching.